Hi, this is Jim Starkweather, the publisher of KitMaker Network, and I would like to wish all of you a very happy holidays this December. And we're closing up another year, obviously. We are very happy to basically be moving on into 2014 and hopefully get a lot more done on the site and a lot more news articles and reviews and features published for you guys. We'd like to see a lot more interaction with the community too, so I'm going to be trying to make a lot of changes to the interface of the site and make it easier for people to post. Yes, I know, I've been talking about this for years, but I'm going to finally get down to brass tacks and get a bit of it done. Things like Facebook, Twitter, not Twitter, maybe Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus login kind of abilities and things like that. So it makes it just easier to log in, easier for you guys to interact if you so choose. I don't want to have to turn the site into, for example, a must login kind of thing. There are sites out there, even some hobby sites, some new ones that have popped up recently, that are basically requiring people to log in, and they can only access the content on the site if they're logged in. Which is a lot like Facebook. Facebook does make us all log in order to actually get to most pages, other than like company pages and things like that. So yeah, so they have a kind of inherent advantage essentially in that sense. So in my year-end wrap-up, I guess that's my my site vision for the future kind of stuff. But as you can see from the table behind me, we've gotten quite a few samples over the last week. I was hoping that maybe they would wait to deluge me after the holidays, but no, they have chosen to send all these now. So basically we'll have a lot of stuff ready for January and so forth for build reviews and build features and such. Some of these are probably already up on the list. If they're not, I'll have them on the lists, the review lists, sample lists shortly. If you don't know what those are, you can check down below in the comment links area and so forth, and I'll put links to what I'm talking about. But basically we have online spreadsheets with all the current samples that we have either in the works or that are available. Check the sheet. It breaks them down into sections, which ones are potentially available if it hasn't been assigned to someone already, which ones are already in progress, and so forth. So what did we get recently? Well, we got in the Tacom Saint Shimon for one thing, and looks like a pretty cool kit. I've opened it up. I'll probably shoot the video for it today and hopefully have the video up. But it's got the one-piece hull arrangement. Very, very cool. Let me just quickly pull it out to show you guys. Very neat one-piece hull. So the front section, the sides, the top are all integrated into one, I assume slide molded, large, scale plastic piece. It's a thing of beauty, I have to say. Next, we've got the Meng Azure kit just arrived today. I just unboxed it about 15 minutes ago. And this kit is sadly not going to be ready because the photo etch and decals are not in the box yet. They accidentally shipped it out without them. But they should have those to me, I'm sure, post-haste. We also did get their Char 2C. And that'll probably be up soon too, shortly after Christmas, I hope. We got in from the folks at MRC, we got the European Tram, which feels like a very heavy kit, so I'm sure there's a lot of plastic in this one. It should be a fairly big tram. So I know we've all been kind of like seeing that out there forever. What else did we get? We got from Pacifico's models, we got in the VK 3002DB from Amusing Hobby. This kit was released a while ago, but it's been kind of in limited supply or limited availability. And we're going to be looking for someone for a build review or feature on that one. Big news, though, is we got in for the folks at Aeroscale. We got in from Zukimura Direct. We got their new Shinden 1/48 scale turbo jet fighter. Right? Yeah. It's not a rocket, right? It's just jet. Not a Shinden expert. So this kit's very exciting. It's their first 1/48 scale release, and it's I looked inside. It's very got lots of great detail, like the engine, the armaments, the weapon systems. So you really can pull back and show almost like a skinned version of this plane, as they show here in this photo, as well as the fully complete plane, maybe with some of the panels off and things like that, if you wanted to show some of the interior detail. But so that's very exciting. We're going to have a kit review up on that. We've got a little one of the items from Jawilo that they just put out, which is these new corn maze plants. So for people making a diorama who want to do like corn or some kind of cornfield kind of thing, these are probably going to be great. Looking for somebody to maybe do a vignette or a diorama utilizing these so they can show how they work. What else? Oh, well, from Revell, we got the USS George Washington. I'm sure a lot of you older modelers remember this kit. I built this as a kid. It's huge. All the interior detail was amazing to look at. You know, I'm not sure how exactly realistic it is, but it certainly shows how gigantic that submarine was on the inside. We got from Dragon USA, we got the Broncos USS San Diego LPD-22. And again, we've already reviewed the New York, which is a very similar kit, so I'm going to hopefully be looking for someone to build this one either for a build review or a build/blog on the site, or build review/blog, or build feature, one of those things. So contact me if you're interested in any of those. We did get from today, we just got in also from the new manufacturer Tetra Model Works. We got in their Russian T90A for the men kit. This is a photo etch kit with a metal barrel, and we got in for the USS the 350th scale USS DDG-82 Lassen. We got in a photo etch set with little chains there as well. So what else? I think that about covers it. We got in issue number 4 of Abrams Squad, so that should go up pretty soon too. But again, being it's the holidays, some of this stuff will be before Christmas, after Christmas, and all the way out through New Year's and so forth. So, but again, as in terms of a year-end wrap-up video, maybe I'll make this an annual event. I just want to thank everybody who's helped with the site this year, whether it's contributing or writing an article, posting a blog, staffing, whatever. We're still looking for more help with lots of the other sites. Armorama's pretty set, and Aeroscale's doing pretty well, although we could always use more editors who either know what they're doing, you know, in terms of just Photoshop and things like that. I mean, to be an editor on the site basically just means you need to have some Photoshopping, or not Photoshop specifically, but just some photo editing skills, some knowledge in that area. It's not too difficult to learn now. And then just, you know, basically learning our content managed back-end system. So if you thought about being a staffer, this is definitely a time that during the new year we'd like to kind of push ahead with some of the other sites. Specifically, I would probably mention both Model Shipwrights and Historicus Forma. We made some changes on Historicus Forma over the last year, and basically some of the staff started posting things on Armorama rather than 1/35th scale plastic figures and things like that. Were kind of never really intended to be part of Historicus Forma. It was always meant to be a historical figure modeling site, not necessarily a 1/35th scale plastic site. So we kind of paired off some of that stuff from HFM, but unfortunately, because of that, there's less being posted there now. So we'd really like it if there's either a small group or even a couple of people who are looking to stake a place for themselves for historical models on the internet. Other than great site, Planet Figure. I'm not saying it's not. It's a good site, but Planet Figure, Timelines. You know, there's room for, I think, one more good historical modeling site on the internet. And I'm not saying HFM isn't already a good site. It's just it could be obviously a little bit better. As well as Model Shipwrights. Model Shipwrights for ship scale modelers, same kind of scenario. There's 2 other sites out there that come to mind: Steel Navy and Model Warships. Both good sites, not knocking them at all. But I think there's a spot out there in the giant worldwide internet of, you know, now how many, you know, millions of people out there potentially, you know, all around the world. I think there's probably a room for another scale, big scale ship site. Now, not saying we're not already probably number 3, but we need some help in just in terms of getting the site moving, motivated, posting, you know, things like that. And primarily what that usually means is some kind of leadership. And for Model Shipwrights, we really need a managing editor to come on board to kind of get that site going forward. The staff that have been there have done a great job, but, you know, there's always, with these volunteer staff positions, there's always kind of a period of, you know, a peak and then a kind of a thing. I mean, it's a normal life cycle kind of stuff. And we're reaching the point where we need some new blood on a lot of these sites to essentially kind of kickstart them back into the 21st century. Well, they were started in the 21st century, but you know what I mean. So that said, it's kind of a plea for help. Help us, please. we could definitely use some help on all our sites. So if you're ever interested in helping contribute from a staff perspective, just let myself or one of the other managing editors know, Darren on Armorama or Rowan on Aeroscale, as well as the other sites you can always contact me about. But I mean, we have a 6-scale site, for example, that's been out there for quite a while. I'm sure you've bumped into it occasionally, and that site has been just kind of looking for love, I guess, looking for love in all the wrong places. But it's out there. It's ready to kind of grow. It just needs someone to get behind it to essentially build it. And I wish I had the time to on all these small sites. I mean, I've tried to do it with, for instance, my kind of strong area of interest lately, or my entire life really, in terms of PC gaming with PC War Machine. But even that site, I had to try to help bring on some people to help me out with it, because as a one-man effort, I'm just not gonna cut it just by myself on any of these sites. It was one thing back in the early days of Armorama to get that site going. I poured my heart and soul into that site for many of the first few years the site was on board. But again, without the help of staff, a big thank you to Brian Dewberry. He basically helped launch Aeroscale, and probably was one of the people who helped push us, as well as Rowan and others, helped push us to where we are now with all these sites. Otherwise, I'd probably still be trying to struggle along with Armorama by myself, and I'm sure help from the community. But this staff, the guys that add all these stories every day, they're the people that you should really be thankful for, because they're the ones that essentially have allowed the community to get to the levels it has. Allowed it to get to the levels where we get Zukimura kits, which, as far as I know, not many other websites get, if any. Tamiya, the same thing. I mean, Tamiya does not send out samples to websites generally, as a rule. So yeah, we're proud of our position as probably one of the largest scale modeling sites in the world. But I recognize, I'll say I, because in this sentence, I recognize that it is the work of a lot of others that make it happen. And without that work, we wouldn't be here. So that's why I'm asking, just like once a year you go, or once or twice a year it seems like, you go to Wikipedia to look something up, and at the top it says, please donate, because otherwise we won't have enough money to do it. Well, I don't need the money. Luckily our advertisers and such keep us well funded in terms of that type of thing. But in terms of the content and adding content to the site, we do need people, because without people, it's hard to get a lot done. And that's true for a lot of other sites. If you use Wikipedia and you know how it works, then you know that each area is managed by a dedicated manager for the most part, or one person's managing many pages, but sometimes it has a specific person that's actually managing a very busy page. You also have sites like about.com, which are completely 100% all volunteer run, that I'm aware of anyways. Maybe some of the more lucrative pages for them are run by professionals, but I believe its essential business model is the same, where volunteers run it. So that's the wonderful world of the web that we live in, that that people can get on board and do these things. And I do recognize, or I do want to essentially give a shout out to all the people, all the staffers, past and present, who have done that for us, because otherwise we wouldn't be here without them. So again, wishing you happy holidays. Let's hope for a great new year, and let's hope the world economy really starts to get in gear, because we could all use that, I'm sure. So take care.